needles, it was freezing. Them it fall in the street, lights that flicker. Halos, world that's gone too small, and the breath turns into a ghost. And every word that he's spoken. Stop right there. Voice cracked like it already broken. The sirens distance like they knew not to come. And like the night he held his breath for what he had becoming. Hands is on the trigger, but his mind was on the edge of a fear that he had been feeding of it. Bash like a pledge and said that he saw something strange in the way he stood still. And like the calm that's in his chest that didn't master with the chilling. Like the man that's in the rain, he was begging just to live. It's like he knew what was coming. He had nothing left to give in. The Jesus 2.0 is just a name in the street. It wasn't no crown, it wasn't no robe. It's just a cold at his feet. And the water soaking through his clothes like wait, made a sin. And put his eyes that held a quiet, deeper was within it. Said don't gotta do this. A voice soft is almost warming, but the silence in between them felt the painful fully long. And the copy shook his finger, twist like storm was in his veins. And he pulled the trigger once and then five times in the rain. And the freezing rain, and everything stands still. And like this on the edge of a moment, can't unkilling. He was reaching for a light in a world that's so cold. And now the story it gets buried in the lies that they told. And now the body lay still, but the moment it don't die, it replay in his head every time that he closes his eyes. And every drop it hit the ground, it's like a clock that counting wrong. And like the truth, it's got a rhythm, but it don't belong. And he go home, but the heat and then it reach into his bones and feel the coldness in his chest. And like it followed it him home, and him hands is still shaking, but he swear that it was right. But the doubt is in his blood, it keep him up every night. And he sees flashes of the eyes ain't full of fear, and just to look like he saw something painful, fully clearing. Like forgiveness was right there, but it cut it like a blade. And cause showed him that the weight of the choices that he made. And now he's pacing in the circles, the same orbit, the same track. It's like the night it never ended, but it pulled it, hit him back. And the rain it never stopped, it just froze in his mind. And every second that stretched out is just every memory rewinding. He said I had no choice, but the words they sounded thin. It's like a lie that collapsed when he looked at him within. And cause the man that's in the storm, he never even raised a hand. He just stood in the cold like he'd already planned. And the freezing rain and freezing cold, and everything stands still in life on the edge of a moment. You can't unkill it. He was reaching for a light in world cold so cold. And now the story get buried in the lies that they told him. Now the city move on, but the cold stay stuck in the cracks of the streets. And in the lines are looking. People whisper his name, but they twisted up the frame and turned the truth into a smoke to turn the loss into a game. And but somewhere in the dark where the street lights hum, and there's a weight that's in the air where he used to come in. Like the night got memory, like it learned it is shaped like the cold and outer space, and it refused it to escape. And now the top he see him still in the edge of the sight. It's not a ghost, it's more a truth that he can't outrun. Right, and every time the edit rain and then the temperature drop low, and he can feel that moment in the undertow. And hear the words that he said in a softer tone. It wasn't here just to survive. I'm gonna show what's known. And now the guilt it ain't loud, it's just a quiet little decaying like the ice that's in his chest. The chest it never melts away, and he wonders sometimes in the dead of night. And if the man in the storm, he ever lost that fight, or if death was just a door and then I walked it right through and leaving cold in the world just to live in you. And the freezing rain and freezing soul, and everything stands still. It's life is on the edge of a moment. You can't unkill it. He's reaching for a light, and the world is gone so cold. And now the story it gets buried in the lies that they hold.